Diddy, he okay with it. No shade with it, no shade with it.
Wait, so that aches you out, but what doesn't ache you out is a man sleeping with multiple women while he got a woman pregnant out in the world somewhere, making her do her pregnancy alone, pretending that baby and her don't exist. But when a woman's dating while pregnant, possibly being romantic with a person that's physically there for her and her unborn baby, that aches you out? Something ain't right.
Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with me.
So hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Miss Kafue. Hey, if you just watched the first video, today you know what today we are talking about. Today we'll be talking about dating while pregnant. Like, come on, I didn't even know this was a thing to begin with. I didn't even know people like go on dates while they're pregnant. Like, I think society has sold us these beliefs like no one will want you when you're pregnant, no one will want you when you're a single mom, no one will want you when you're a divorcee, no one will want you when you're an old woman. But hey, society tends to normalize men leaving their pregnant wives or pregnant partners. Like, I didn't know this was a thing. By the first time I saw this, I was actually very surprised. Like, I was actually very surprised to the fact that it actually works out for some people, like as you'll see in the video. So please, let's go ahead and watch some stitches I have for you, and then we'll be back to comment on them.
Wherever this may go, obviously we both want it to go somewhere. At the end of the day, it's still a friendship and he just wants to be there for me. It's not like a weird thing like people may think. He's just genuinely a nice person. And I think sometimes we're really quick to judge and think that men suck and they're weird and they're gross. But honestly, there are like just nice men out there. Just looking at the comments, I'm absolutely shocked at how many people are in the same situation as me, doing the same thing, or I have influenced them to do what I'm doing. So with all of this being said, stay tuned for part 3, ladies. I'm getting this nursery built. Hello, beautiful people. I'm 28 weeks pregnant and I'm dating.
Dating while pregnant. So I'm going to tell you guys about my personal experience with dating while pregnant while I do an unboxing of what the guy that I'm currently seeing bought me yesterday. So let's get into it. So obviously dating while pregnant is super controversial already because all that people can think about when they think of dating is hooking up, which is completely not true, at least for me. So in no way, shape, or form am I shaming hooking up on the first night because girl, have I done it, okay? And I haven't done it while I've been pregnant, but I don't see anything wrong with that in the first place. I've hooked up with guys on the first night and ended up dating them for a year or 3 years, and it's been serious and long term. So there's nothing wrong with that. But personally, dating while pregnant has been super interesting. One thing that I've noticed is that guys really love, like actual men and not boys, really love to be providers and they like to feel needed. So if you just ask them for what you want, they'll usually just get it for you without expecting anything in return, of course, because nobody should be doing things for you if they are expecting something in return, basically. So that's kind of how dating for me while pregnant has been. Men have treated me amazing and not really expected anything in return. They know that I'm growing life right now. I'm like a whole ass mother, what the fuck? But yeah, I do like dating while pregnant. It's been super interesting. So if you guys want to hear more about that, I will do more story times because I have some stories. But look at these that I got yesterday. Oh my God, he is so sweet. I'm in love with these. These are gorgeous. And then we went on a really nice dinner date and then I went home.
Dating while pregnant. Let's talk about it while I pack some snacks for my date. Yes, I still do get asked out. Is it oddly and weirdly more than when I was just single? Yes. Do I entertain all of them? Absolutely not. This is actually the first guy I am going like out with since my baby daddy. Put the mama hat on today. Slay. A lot of people ask me like, what's the age range of people that are reaching out to you? Honestly, it's all over the spectrum. People a lot older, people even younger than me, and I'm like, y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. What are these guys' intentions? A lot of them ask me out to dinner, but like, I know that they want more. So again, I don't entertain that. But like today, it's innocent. Asked if he could pick me up and take me on a hike. We're gonna go hammocking, look for geos, swim a little bit, and then head home. So yeah, dating while pregnant. Thanks for coming to the segment.
Let's get on ready for bed and let's decompress together. Something I've noticed popping up in my comment section lately is that a lot of you guys don't know Max isn't Ollie's biological father. That's because we met whilst I was actually 25 weeks pregnant with Ollie at the time. Since there's a lot of new faces, I thought I would talk about my experience of dating whilst pregnant. Obviously, I can only tell from my side of the story, from my perspective. I was in a long-term relationship when I fell pregnant with Ollie. Around the 3-month mark, that went south. I was in a really low point in my life, so much so that I did decide to go on Tinder. Why, you may ask? I honestly don't know, but I think I just hit rock bottom. My dating while I was pregnant was interesting. I did go on 3 dates. They were all really nice guys, but trying to filter between weird, concerning red flag guys and like guys that had fetishes, a little bit stressful, I'm not gonna lie. I just wanted to make sure that the guy knew that if I went on a date with him, I wasn't looking for a one-night stand. I want to be clear and say that I did have it clearly written that I was pregnant. I also had photos on my profile. It wasn't like I'd rock up to a date and then they would be surprised and feel catfished. I made it very obvious. Don't get me wrong, I know what you're thinking. Why was I dating whilst pregnant? Like, wasn't I focused on the baby? Wasn't I focused on like becoming a new mom? And I was, but like, you have to remember, when you hit rock bottom, like common sense is not there. I can't even explain to you. If you haven't hit rock bottom, then you're not gonna know. Once you hit it, there is no sense of reason, common sense, nothing. When I met Max, I felt like I just connected with him straight away. And then obviously after a few months time, he ended up coming to Ollie's birth, and that whole story when I shared it on TikTok went viral. Now fast forward 2 years and we've got 2 babies. We live together in this apartment. We're engaged. We're gonna get married if we can decide whether to elope or get married. Or since sharing my story, a lot of you guys have reached out sharing your experiences, and it turns out a lot of people were on Tinder pregnant and a lot of people are also married to their Tinder dates. Apparently it's not all that uncommon. Okay, Max and I are gonna go watch a movie and have a little bit of a date night. Bye.
And one thing that blows my mind is whenever a woman is dating another man while she's pregnant with another man's baby, people want to attack her and call her disgusting and inappropriate. But then the world doesn't want to consider a deadbeat man who neglected a woman during her 9 months of pregnancy accountable for his neglectful ways. They want to deem it normal for a man to date while he has another woman pregnant somewhere. But as soon as a woman gives that same energy, she's disgusting. And then on top of all of that, the men who neglect their responsibilities when they've gotten a woman pregnant, neglecting her, not being an emotional support for her, they have enabling girlfriends. And those girls love to say, well, he told her to get an abortion. Well, listen, sweetheart, it's her body, her choice. It's like it was his body, his choice, just like he chose not to use protection. Well, he said it was a one-night stand. Well, he got that one-night stand pregnant. Now he needs to own up to his responsibility. Well, he told me she trapped him with the baby. Majority of men who say their baby mama trapped them are guilty of what they're talking about.
When you are pregnant, men are attracted to you because you can, like, they see you as like, they see you as, no, they know that because you can give birth, like just animal instinct. Yeah. So they're actually attracted, like men are attracted to women.
To the nose and everything swell up?
Not the physical of her face and her beauty, belly. But the fact that she's pregnant, it gives off this, I don't know what it's called,
pheromones.
Something, pheromones. But men are attracted to the fact that she can obviously give birth and she's pregnant.
I was at the bus stop waiting for my bus, and you know what I mean? I was tired. I had a long day.
Yeah.
And this guy come up to me and he was like, excuse me. I was young, by the way, this time, so I'm putting on a voice because it was back then. And I was like, yeah. He was like, can I talk to you for a minute? I'm like, okay. And then he was, I'm like, what the? And then he was like, what? So have you got a man? I was like, rah, is this really a question? I don't even know what I answered.
How big was your bump? Was it like visible or was it like...
It was a visible bump, but okay. I carry small in it. But it was a visible
So he could see that
I'm
you were
pregnant.
impregnated.
Yeah. I was like a month to drop.
Wow.
Yeah. I was just so baffled because
Yeah,
I didn't think. So when you're saying that, yeah, like, but I just think them guys are just dirty and dusty.
When a guy sees a pregnant woman or something like that, his whole brain is like, gotta help her and protect her. It's so strong. He wants the opportunity, but he also doesn't want to be rejected or ridiculed. But by asking him to help, it's such a huge rush of endorphins in a man's brain, makes him feel incredible. You're really giving him a gift.
Now, as a woman, you're probably asking, well, how the hell am I supposed to know when this man is trying to have a trap baby? All right, let me give you some tips, some warning signs to be aware of. Warning number 1. He talks about having your baby before he talks about marrying you. Let me explain something to you. If a man is serious about being in your life, being committed to you, pouring into your needs, then he will be willing to discuss marriage. He will be willing to consider long-term commitment. When that man can't even talk marriage, but he's talking about, can you have my baby? You better run for the hills. All right. This man is trying to set you up, and it sounds funny, but I'm telling you, this is for real. This is happening as we speak right now. And many of you listening to this podcast have experienced this. First dates, second dates. This man is already talking about putting the baby in you, but not talking about taking you to the courthouse. Not let's go ring shopping. Not what kind of house you want to live in. No, none of that. Because all he wants is to make sure he locks you in and you can't go anywhere.
Like, hey, someone tell me, why does society sell lies to women, telling them they're not pretty when they're pregnant, telling them they're not attractive when they are single moms, telling them no one will want them when they're divorced? Like, where did all this come from? I think this stems from patriarchy at the end of the day. This stems from patriarchy because women are sold this belief. I think that all these discussions surrounding marriage, dating, it's all about what the woman needs to do. It's never about what the man has done or what the man needs to improve on. Like, really, in society, are men taught how to be husbands, but you'll find women being taught how to be wives, but no one actually teaches these men how to be husbands and fathers at the end of the day. I think that's where the gap is, because you can't expect to teach a woman everything. Like, you can't expect the woman to carry the emotional burden, the physical burden, everything. And then you expect the marriage to work. Like, that thing will sink like a ship, like the Titanic for that matter. Like, I think that's where the gap lies. And then, like, my thoughts about this are like, okay, personally, I don't know whether I'll do it, but I don't want to judge anyone because, like, things happen for a reason and, like, situations are different. Like, what works for you may not work for me. But I think if your partner neglects you and then you come along this partner who supports you, who is there for you, who actually helps you even set up the nursery, like one of the ladies said, like, why not? Why would you deny yourself that? Like, I don't think that's wrong. And then the lady who says, like, you're weird if you think pregnant women are gross. I agree with that. Like, I think it's very weird to think pregnant women are gross. Like, it's very weird because all of us, we came from pregnant women ourselves. Like, come on, like, who thinks like that at the end of the day? I think a person who thinks like that is a person who firsthand has never been near a pregnant woman, or like they've never been in proximity or never helped out or never lived with one, or they're simply just immature and they're just young. I think those are the two people who will think like that. But this topic actually really surprised me. Like, this is one of the things that I never even imagined people do. I never even imagined people do it. But you find that if men hear about this, or if you actually decided to ask a man what he thinks about this topic, he'll tell you, like, oh, those are prostitutes. Like, they can't even keep their legs closed when they're pregnant. Like the lady who said, like, pregnant women don't date for the for the schmecks. I agree with that. Maybe you just need someone to reassure you. Maybe you just need the physical support and the emotional support for that matter. Because pregnant women deal with a lot of emotional mess at the end of the day. Because, like, yeah, like, I agree with that. I don't see anything wrong. Like, if a guy can love you in that situation, I think that guy is really like into you. Because we are out here snatched, here done, not pregnant. Some of us even don't have kids. and still we can't even manage to get the right guys. So I think like if you can manage to get a right guy in that situation, like one of the women said, like the father of, like people tend to think the father of her child right now is the biological dad, but it's not the biological dad because she met him while she was actually pregnant with her child. I think that's a happy ending at the end of the day. Like put it in perspective, right? What if she denied this guy the chance? What if she didn't go for it and like believe societal beliefs like, oh, what will people think about me? People will think about me like I'm loose, I'm a prostitute, blah blah blah. Like, why is anyone not talking about the man who actually left this woman pregnant? Why does no one talk about this man? Like, I don't understand this society. Like, even as women, we're busy talking about women. Like, I think we're just conditioned. Like, we're just conditioned by this society to be like that. I don't see why people tend to attack the woman. People tend to attack the single mothers. Well, these are the parents who remain behind to take care of the mess at the end of the day. I don't see why people just be like that. I don't see why. But I don't know what your thoughts are. Like, I'm sure most people disagree with this because, like, even for spiritual reasons, like, it's not good, especially for the child. Like, here in Africa, I don't know whether it's here in Africa or it's just like a spiritual thing for those people who are spiritual work. Like, we believe like no one should no one should have intimacy with you when you're pregnant with another man's child, or like when you have a newborn from another man. Like, you should not have intimacy with a man that's different from a baby's father. But I don't know the truth to that. Maybe it's just one of those lies that women are sold. Because, like, why does, but also men are told the same thing, which I'll talk about in the next video. But of course, like, no one holds them accountable for their actions. Like, no one holds them accountable for actually neglecting their pregnant partners, which is very wrong. Like, the society has actually normalized like not holding these men accountable, which is very wrong at the end of the day because the problem comes from them. Like, in the first place, if this man wouldn't have neglected this woman, she wouldn't have even thought about going out to date. But I think the worst thing is like not telling the guy firsthand, like beforehand, before you meet them, that you're pregnant, and then like you show up when you're pregnant. I think that's crazy. I think that goes back to the video I did about catfishing. So I think that's crazy. I think we should present like the real version of us, like tell him you're pregnant and blah blah blah. Like, if he still goes for it, you being in that situation, which most men wouldn't even dare entertain, I think then you want yourself a real person, because what else are you looking for? I think that's God's way of telling you, like, I had to make your man neglect you for you to find the right person who will help you raise this child. I'm sorry about that, but I think that's it for me. And then another thing, the man who says like some men will baby trap you to just neglect you and blah blah. I fully 100% believe that shit because men will neglect you when you're pregnant. Like, I remember my ex used to tell me like, oh, like at that time I used to be in an internship and it used to be far. So, oh, I need space. Oh, like he used to and when I was there, like he would go out like during the day and then come back like at 2 a.m. Like knowing like I might go into active labor at any time. Like for me looking back, I think that was the moment where like I actually was neglected the most. And now finding out that he probably was cheating, which I'll talk about in the next video, like that was actually so crashing. I don't know about you, but yeah, let's stop normalizing men leaving their wives and actually shaming women for dating when they're pregnant. I think at this day and age, people should be more open minded and more accepting and more like objective of such matters. But I'm actually more concerned about the men who have a fetish for pregnant women. Like, there are men who actually have a fetish for pregnant women. Okay, it's not like really the men, leave alone the men who feel the need to protect you when you're pregnant. Like, men naturally feel like that, but we're talking about the men who have a fetish for pregnant women. So I don't know whether to tell you a quick story time about me, but So there was this time I was in an internship, like I mentioned before. So it was actually really far. It was actually in another like county, but you call them counties. So I remember like we used to teach with this. There was this male teacher. I don't remember his name, but he was old. I think he was like in his 60s or something, or knocking 60. Plus, he was a drunkard. I remember he was a drunkard. Like during lunchtime, you'll notice like he's missing, and like he has gone to drink, and then he comes back at 4, picks his coat as if he has been there, and then like goes like he used to be drunk. Sometimes he will even come to work drunk. So on this particular day, I just leave work as normal, go back to my house, sleep, and then in the morning, when I went back to the school, right? I'm a teacher. So when I went back to the school, right, people were looking at me awkward. People were giving me these awkward looks. And I was like, what's up? Like, why are you looking at me this awkward? What happened? And then people were like, yesterday no one called you. Like, yesterday nothing happened. Then I was like, what happened? Because me, I'm okay. And then they proceeded to tell me that this man called the principal of the school, like the management of the school. He actually called them in the middle of the night, telling them, oh, this woman has actually gone into labor. We are with her in my house right now. She's actively going into labor. She has already delivered a child. Like, please send an ambulance. Like, that was really crazy. Like, people are talking stories about you that even you yourself are not even aware of. Like, I was really surprised, and I told them, no, maybe it's just his drinks. But fast forward, this man was really drunk. So I was sharing that story with a friend of mine later on, and she was like, no, that man actually has a fetish for pregnant women. Because how would you even, how, what makes someone even get drunk and start thinking about such things? Like, it's crazy. But now, thinking about it, I can agree that that man had a fetish for me because I was pregnant. I don't know. But that's really scary because, like, fetishes are scary. Because especially for pregnant women. I don't know, but it's just weird to me. I don't know about you. But anyway, please comment down below. I'd love to know what you think about this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.